Welcome to the REgroovin podcast. Your host is Amy Guerrero. Today's episode, Andrew, a lovely man that I met in the wild, is interviewing me on my story, on what happened, why I created REgroovin, and how REgroovin has changed my life and the life of thousands of people that I've had the privilege and opportunity to share it with. Today, you will learn about trauma. You'll learn about my trauma. You might recognize yourself in me. You might feel some kind of way. You might have to pause every once in a while to digest and metabolize everything that you're hearing. I invite you to sit back, listen, take what you want, leave what you don't, and come back for more later. It's a privilege, an honor, and a delight to share this with you. And I look forward to much more. All right, enjoy. Thank you.
Amy, thank you for letting me come over to your super cool place and talk to you about your life. And I'm going to immediately, I just say Guerrero because I'm an old white guy and that's how I do it. But I want you to say your name properly.
My name is Amy Guerrero.
Guerrero. It sounds so much cooler when you say it than when I say it.
Yeah, it means warrior in Spanish.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
What's your cultural heritage? What do you got running around there?
Well, I don't know because this year, my dad admitted he's not my biological father.
Really?
Which I've been asking him for like 15 or so years.
All right.
Part of why I was always so confused.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. However, he raised me and he loves me so much and he's
Right.
amazing man. And yeah, I was the white redheaded Mexican is what my brother and sister called me all the time.
Is he their biological father?
No.
How did he end up with all you guys?
I think my dad has like a bit of a savior complex, and Dad, I love you. I'm not making you wrong here. But my mom split about 2 months after I was born.
Okay.
And yeah, he stepped up to the plate.
Wow. Split from, what a story. I mean, like, the dad, we need to know much more. Like, there's a lot of questions to be answered there.
I have a real respect for the masculine men.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
I have to take a pause for just a moment because I just want to find that spot. When you come from years of just like abuse and power over, he just has like a super soft heart. And I was like, I'm going to take care of this little girl. He's a fireman, and so he worked 24 on and 48 off. And so my grandmother raised me. She was like the mother figure in my life. But that man, he showed up for me over and over and over and over and over again. Refuses to give up on me. It's really beautiful. Yeah, like I started manifesting my trauma at a very young age by like my nervous system wouldn't release. And so
can you explain what you mean by that? Sorry to
I was like
derail
constipated.
It starts there, but there's more. Just nervous system wouldn't release. Constipation. What does it feel like in the rest of your body?
I felt trapped from a very young age, but I was super intuitive because I was always scanning the environment for safety and danger, safety, danger, safety, danger. My dad wasn't there all the time. My grandfather was super abusive. He beat most of the kids. It was always just power over. And yeah, like I like knew something at a very young age and immediately started feeling misunderstood.
Yeah. By the men in your life, by women around, or by everyone?
Kind of just like why.
I'm so sorry. I can go put him in the car if he's gonna.
I love it actually.
Oh, there's a cat over there.
Oh, Charlie's out too?
Boy, it's
Yeah,
just
Charlie's been feeling my energy a lot lately.
such a typical dog. He can't. He pees on fire hydrants. He growls at cats. He buries bones. He's
Oh,
just, you know.
well, he's a good man.
Well,
Go,
hey,
go
buddy.
get my food for me and I'll cook it for
Yeah,
you.
right, right.
My grandmother was such a wonderful woman. Like, talk about stepping up to the plate. But she was beaten by her husband,
Oh my goodness.
and she would tell me about it from a very young age,
Really?
and told me very young she was the only reason that she was still alive. And I mean, I was a little kid.
Yeah, that's a lot.
However, my intuition and the connection that we had, I was just like,
Yeah.
I took it on.
Well, let's take it. Let's take it back. Let's zoom out.
Let's zoom
let's
out.
travel through time. So, okay, little Amy is born in Texas. Where were you born?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because my dad raised me, I took on with the boys more than I took on with the girls. So it was most of my best friends to this day are still men.
What's their sibling dynamic? How many of you are there?
There's two of us. We're
Two.
all right on top of each other.
Okay.
Francis's husband beat her
Oh
too.
my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, what I think I found was so fascinating is like, why can't you hold yourself instead of pushing it out and like hurting other people?
Right.
Yeah. I've always been an internalizer. So I always looked for my part in it.
Would you say you hurt yourself the way other people were hurting their partners?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't understand like why we would push it out onto other people instead of taking personal responsibility for like, hey, like there's something inside me that's like
Right.
doesn't feel right. I don't believe in the word broken or fix. But there was something inside of me that didn't feel right. But I kept seeking, especially men, to make sense of it or to like love me or to give me permission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We can go so many different directions
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
here.
Well, so yeah, I get that idea of you don't feel safe, you don't feel released, but you had, a lot of bad examples around. Like, sounds like a lot of cruelty, a lot of people not knowing how to deal with their own anger and projecting it onto other people. Did you feel like things were your fault?
Yeah.
Did you feel to blame for?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, my birth mother tried to kidnap me and like tried to come back around and like did all these things. And she consistently told me it was my fault.
Is she still around? She's still living?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of her emails go into a box that I never see. She's come back around a couple of times.
Yeah.
I went and found her on People Finders thinking that, because I had this idea that I was going to heal all my trauma before I turned 40. And so I spent 9 months looking for her on People Finders. And then she responded. And I happened to be I was invited to go teach yoga out in Philadelphia. And I really thought like, if I could just like have a conversation with her and be like, hey, I get it. It's okay. Like, how do we reconcile this? But it ended up that she made me wrong again.
All right.
And then my grandma, like, to just bring it like into the full circle of it, she was so victimized by her husband, who really was doing his best. But she had diabetes and literally like it was like a toe and then a foot. And
Man.
a leg.
Wow.
And so it's just like I had all these examples of women, yeah, like hurting
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
And that
My
felt like the right thing to do? Or it
yeah,
just seemed,
my birth mom's dad raped her entire life.
my God, that's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking.
I mean, like poor woman, like I get it. Like my dad comes around, he's a super handsome man. He's savior complex.
Mm.
He gets her pregnant and she feels like she's going to be rescued, but she can't hold herself
Right,
because she
right.
doesn't know how to receive love.
Mm.
So, yeah, I can remember as young as 10 when I was like, I'm not having children and I'm not going to live like y'all. First person to go to college in my family system, did really well at school, just like excelled in every possible way that I could. However, because of how I looked and what I did, like there was just sexual abuse from a young age. And I just thought it was my cross to bear.
Yeah, it was on some level you thought that's just what women.
Well, I mean, my grand,
Right, right.
like,
Yeah.
like I remember my grandfather. I mean, I did soften the whole environment because I was not expected and was raised in this we were very poor. He owned a stove shop. Um, I kind of gave them a reason to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But this is so hard to explain too. Like I felt responsible that young.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you were
And
told that to a certain degree, right? I mean, things were
yeah,
your fault. And you felt responsible for, you think maybe, God, it almost sounds
existing.
like, yeah, the combination of your father's savior complex is somewhere in your DNA. And then being told that things are your fault is cooked in there as well.
Yeah.
So if you're saving others from yourself by punishing yourself,
Because
boy, you're busy.
yeah, like if I could hold it, then they wouldn't have to suffer. Like I would do my sister and brother's chores.
All right.
Because they like I was like, I just don't want mom and dad to yell.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a really tense. Let me ask you this: like, where was your joy in all that?
I had a lot of joy
Yeah. What was it? What were you into?
playing. Well, I was actually into like the things that the adults were into, so I was like always curious. My dad used to call me sneaky because I was always like listening in on the adult conversations
Mm-hmm.
because it was like what y'all are doing is way more interesting than these kids that I'm hanging out with because like I was already so holding so much that I didn't get a lot of opportunity to play.
Mm.
So what brought me joy? Um, yeah, playing music, making them happy.
Yeah. Did you
Like
get?
when they like felt relief,
Mm-hmm.
then my system could calm down.
Were you getting laughs or like, hey, look at this? What was it that was? Were you were entertaining people or what was it?
No, I wasn't an entertainer. I was listening to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I would sit in the back of my aunt's Oldsmobile and she was just like, you give us the best advice.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I had a lemonade stand when I was little
Wait,
and
how
they
old?
called me Lucy. And they're, because they're like, we don't come here for the lemonade. We come here for
Yeah.
whatever wisdom you're about to drop on us.
Wow. How old were you in the lemonade stand?
6,
Damn.
7. Yeah.
Prices have gone up. Inflation's been rough on Amy's advice giving enterprises.
My lemonade costs a lot more
Yeah,
now.
man. I mean, this is just water. I feel
It's
like I'm getting. Let me get some of that kombucha. How much? Bring my wallet.
mm, that was a good question.
The reason I asked you about the little kid, the joy. I heard somebody say recently that had been in the 12 steps, right? That they had a hard time with the idea of the higher power, right? That there was A lot of people just found God. Like there's the omnipotent, omnipresent God that brings so many people comfort. That's my higher power. But this guy was like, hey, look, I just couldn't get there. I couldn't make myself believe that of this higher power. But I found myself wanting to be accountable to the little kid me, who was the higher power in me that was like, I think he used examples like, hey, the 8-year-old would see me at a bar at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, don't you have stuff to do? Aren't you helping your mom? Why are you here? Go home and go sleep. Right. So that idea of that higher power was really interesting to me. And so I was curious about the little Amy, like to what extent do you ever find yourself accountable to her?
A lot. Because when I did come, the first time that I learned that it was actually trauma, I always just thought like there's something wrong with me. It's my fault. In college, someone introduced me to somatic experiencing and like that my body was holding all of this stuff. And that's when I started to take care of my little one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do believe in God and I use God often and I was raised Catholic, but I never agreed to Catholicism because I'm like, who can promise to not do all those things in their lifetime? Like I can't, that's for sure. I see her often. She has this like little Mickey Mouse shirt on, and we had a pecan tree in my front yard, and I would sit on the stoop and pick pecans, and was just like looking for approval.
Wow.
Yeah, we grew up on a street on North New Braunfels in San Antonio where there was a bakery on the corner, but everything else was commercial, and it was a black neighborhood that I wasn't allowed to like go outside and play because it was so dangerous. But I just remember like I had this thing in me that was always optimistic. Like I could find the optimism in everything.
Yeah. Give me an example of something like that.
Even in my darkest of times, I could like laugh at myself. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why do I want to hurt myself? Like, this is actually hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, no, I remember one time the firemen had to kick down my door to come get me because I'd been drinking so much. And they were like, why are you laughing right now? And I'm like, because it's actually quite funny. Like, what am I doing? I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from a very young age trying to convince the world that it's not that bad.
Right. Is that optimism or is that just like teeing in on the cosmic joke or what? Like, do you think that's an optimistic point of view?
The frequency that I can feel in my body is optimism. And yeah, it is a fucking cosmic joke.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we chasing? Because love is always the answer. Always.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand, like, why can't we let everyone be who they are without judging them so much and making them wrong and hurting each other?
Yeah. That's interesting. So, all right, I keep zooming in and out.
Yep.
So, okay,
I feel it.
We've felt little Amy, and I got this picture of the pecan picker. It's kind of adorable.
She had a little Mickey Mouse white t-shirt on. And my dad didn't know how to like cut my hair and stuff. And so I had like a little boy haircut. When he married Frances, she cut my hair like every weekend.
Who's Frances?
Frances is my stepmom. That they got married when I was 4.5.
She's cool?
Emotionally unavailable. Just like every other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that was always like my thing of like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really like have like
a bond type thing.
I love you, Frances.
No, I mean, the reality of it is okay.
It's just true. Yeah.
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 I mean, I look at some of my friends who've like, they've married into or gotten into a relationship where there's a kid. Like they've fallen in love with this person. I've got a friend who has just head over heels for this woman, and he has a child, and she has several, and the difficulty there is just
Of
it's
blending the family.
so fraught, right? And how do you do it? So I try to see it from both sides. Like it's just a little kid. Like I had a stepmom. I'm not afraid to say it at all. She was not cool at all. She was not did not like me. We didn't like her. It was just not happening.
Yeah.
But now looking back on it, it's like, my God, man, how could she have dealt with us? How would that have ever worked?
Francis actually did fall in love with me. I
Mm.
remember all of us got chicken pox, and I remember, I don't know, I was like 7 or 8, and I was looking at her in the mirror while she was putting calamine lotion on my neck with my chicken pox, and I was like, "Can I call you mom?" And she said yes. And I mean, I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Was she a little biased because I wasn't actually hers? Maybe. She threatened me a lot. Like anytime my dad misbehaved, which, you know, of course he did, she would be like, "I'm going to leave you and you're not going to have anyone." It was a lot to hold.
Yeah. You would hear that? She would say that to you?
Mm-hmm.
You would hear that you'd be a part of that conversation. I'm leaving you, and you got nowhere.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. So, all right.
Yeah.
So you've got already, before you ever even leave your home to go seek your own life, you got a lot going on. You got a lot of, like, were you ever upset with yourself? Did you have self-loathing, or did you, yeah,
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
because you thought it was your fault?
but it motivated me to do well in school,
Mm-hmm.
to not to not live like the Mexicans that I was raised by.
Uh,
Like I'm going to go to college. I'm going to like create a life for myself that I choose.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was the first person to go to college in my family system. I did really well in school. It was motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was there self-loathing? For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also leaky sexual energy because I'd been abused from a very young age. And so
Can you hit pause right there? What do you mean by that? Leaky sexual energy? I don't know.
I didn't, um, yeah, I mean, I was raped and touched way before it was appropriate. And so I just didn't know like how to close that off and be like, no, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I I started my cycle when I was 10 years old. I had huge tits. I would like, geez, I had a breast reduction. So I was just sexualized
Absolutely.
everywhere that I went. From like starting at 9 and 10 years old, when you have tits that big and the boys don't know how to control themselves.
Right.
I was lucky I had a really great boyfriend, but it didn't mean that like,
You're safe all the time. Yeah.
well, it was just like they had permission because I looked the way that I did.
Mm.
And I don't know that I wasn't available for it, but I also didn't know how to,
Right.
yeah.
So that was like, I mean, literally always forward, but like there was always some sexual energy around you, whether you wanted it or not.
Well, and this is an interesting thing. So yeah, like if we really pulled that, this actually makes a lot of sense. So I worked at Sonic Drive-In and I
Mm.
was a car hop and I had huge tits. I was literally in like 1990, like pulling in $1,000 a week in tips
At a
because
Sonic.
the men would ask me to wash their windshields so that they could stare at my tits.
Oh, God.
But fuck, I was making money. So it's like, I'll fucking work this.
Wow.
Like, this is going to put me through college.
Yeah. And how old you were? What?
I was
17?
16.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And there was, yeah, maybe I felt kind of like, well, use it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not judging yourself now for that. You
No,
just see,
no. I did have to do a lot of work around it.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was celibate for 4 years after I stopped drinking,
Hmm.
just to like be like, whoa,
Start over. Yeah.
I've been given this away, but I've actually only had like 10 partners, which is not a lot for everything that happened.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. We haven't gotten to drinking yet. We're working our way there. We're still at the Sonic. So it's just interesting because the reason I'm asking you such specific questions because I've watched you just once sort of work with someone who is working through issues, and the sort of things that you drill down on are interesting. Like it's not so much story, but I'm very much all about story. I want to hear your story, but we haven't touched anything terribly specific yet.
No, yeah.
But I am curious, like how, because you're here to help people. I mean, you're trying to help people, and you're trying to hear them and guide them through whatever's appropriate for their renewal, right? So,
I had a lemonade stand
yeah,
where I was like
right,
giving advice when I was a
right.
kid. Yeah.
So, what got you to the point where you could do that? It's that whole idea of the shaman. It was always someone who had been through the worst shit in the village, right? And we've already heard some horrible things that have happened to you, but your darkest times are ahead of you in this story that we're working our way through. So you get into college, you're overachieving, you're figuring out the leaky sexual energy, phrase new to me. When does it all start to pile up and you can't hang on to the yoke?
I was a serial monogamist, so I had relationships that lasted a really long time. And when the man was like, we're too young to keep doing this, and my heart would get broken because he needed to go explore, and I'm like, well, let's just have an open relationship, which in Texas, like, yeah, yeah, and didn't work.
In any state, it's
Yeah. That's when the yoke started to break.
Mm,
Every time I felt abandoned, because my original incident is abandonment.
sure.
So then I just took it inward. Like it's my fault, I'm not enough, but I'm a badass at everything I do. I mean, I ran an apartment community in college, 265 units. Like I was making lots of money. I paid for my education.
Wow.
And then you can't hold me? You can't fucking hold me? Why? Because I'm too much. Like, step the fuck up.
Mm,
Yeah, that's when the yolk started to break.
yeah.
So, yeah, I would drink to, I used to say I would dumb myself down because I felt like nobody understood me.
Mm,
But if I drank, then I could relate to them on a different level. And it just felt easier to walk through the life like a little bit tipsy so that I could relate to
mm.
humans.
So it wasn't like super drunk all the time, but it was just like
No, no,
in the
no,
pocket,
no.
kind of.
Yeah, I started drinking in like seventh or eighth grade.
Wow.
It was the first time that I was like, oh,
Could relax.
and then I just related.
Mm,
And then I felt like I could live in the world.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I started having suicidal ideations when I was in seventh grade. But then I was like excelling and doing all these things. And I'm like, okay, I'm figuring this out. Like, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
And yeah, the alcohol just kind of evened everything out.
Mm-hmm.
Never in a million years would I think I would become chemically dependent on it. But I did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about like any kind of crutch or whatever it is. I mean, the thing that like helps you stand up or helps you get along, you know, all of it can,
It grabs you in the ass.
yeah, yeah. So if you've got further abandonment, further pain, and that's the thing that's helping you, it's like, well, a little more, a little more.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it just made everything tolerable.
yeah.
Yeah, I do have a hard time understanding humans, and I'm of service to humans. But I don't understand that everyone doesn't like choose to go inward to explore their part in it and their personal responsibility in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was always very confusing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was at UT, I would like go to therapists and I was like, will you just diagnose me with something? Like I wanted them to like make me bipolar or all these things.
Yeah.
And they're like,
And there's something the drug, there's like a specific thing it can do, like a path. Yeah. Yeah.
like make this make sense to me.
I can,
And it just didn't. And so
that's interesting. I have almost the opposite thing. I've always found diagnosis to be really troubling. Like
they are.
I've found them to be like really, that's the last thing I've ever wanted is a specific diagnosis. But I can appreciate why you would want one if it's all so nebulous. And
Dang, you just brought something through that I haven't said in a long time. Because my mom was raped by her father for so long, now I know she just fragmented and she just has a lot of trauma. However, she was diagnosed bipolar. And so I was like looking for that diagnosis.
yeah, where's mine thing that I can point to and explain?
Exactly.
Sure, sure.
And instead, I went on the trauma journey. I started studying somatic experiencing, and way before people were talking about it.
Right.
Brene Brown's work. I studied male-female communication in college. I was with Dana. I had a long-term boyfriend at the time. But did I use alcohol and drugs still? Yeah. I was just like highly functional on it. Yeah. I mean, I remember the first time I woke up and drank and I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I was at 37. Yeah.
Well, it's a good long run. You know,
It was
so,
a
yeah, that's
it was a great long run. And like I'm not mad at alcohol. It's not
no, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can't blame the hammer when you hit your thumb with it.
Exactly.
You swung the hammer. It could have been anything. You know.
It could have been anything.
But
Yeah.
hammers are real good at building stuff. Alcohol is real good at relaxing things. It's
Yeah.
just, if you use it wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like pulling the whole circle through here too of just like I was in pain
Yeah.
for so long as a little kid too. And I just didn't fully understand how to relate to the world. So
What? So you had, I mean, I know you've mentioned to me that, I mean, you were laughing at the firemen and laughing at yourself. And,
yes.
you know, you've got, I can see you land on a note that's like kind of casual with the suicidal, you know, not casual, but like you're comfortable talking about it.
Absolutely.
You know, because you've lived through it and you're here to help other people with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, so you went there, you survived it, and then is that what brought you to the idea that like, okay, I've got to fix myself or get myself on a path and be able to help others? How did you get on the path that you're on now?
Because like I would take 12 to 20 Xanax and all that alcohol. And I would wake up in the emergency room and they'd be like, how are you still alive? And I'm like, well, shit, like something bigger than me doesn't want this to end. And yeah, the first treatment center that I went to, it didn't make sense to me. I could manipulate the therapist. I had been to a lot of therapists at this point. And I was just, no one would like really penetrate the thing. And yeah, then I was like, I have to create something. If I'm not going to die, like, because I'm trying real hard, then I need to create something that actually makes sense to me. And that's when I was like, the nervous system, trauma lives in the body, started learning about fascia. I was a yoga teacher. I knew all of these things. And then I was like, no one's talking about this in treatment. It's all like head down. call yourself this thing, do this. And I was like, that doesn't feel right to me. And so, yeah. And I'd always helped people. Not for money, but just because I'm very interested in humans.
Yeah.
I call myself a behavioral scientist. Like I find us fascinating.
Yeah.
How we respond to the world and the choices that we make and how we adapt to everything that's happened to us and how people are so afraid to talk about it. I never was. I kind of just talked about it all the time, and I didn't understand why like more people weren't telling the truth.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's when.
It's interesting because you said earlier, I'm confused. I don't understand people, which I think we've got a scientist in the room with us now. Like to do science, you don't do science because you understand it all. You do science because you want to understand more. It's the confusion, the befuddlement, the curiosity that drives you to that exploration.
Yeah.
And so it's not like I'm going to give you 4 cents instead of a nickel because you're confused about people. It's like I should be giving you 7 because you're actually curious and you're not showing up with a diagnosis ready to go.
Yeah. I threw the DSM across the room a number of times.
Yeah.
The DSM is like the diagnosis manual that they code you on so they can charge the insurance company. And I was like, this is bullshit.
But if it lands, whatever page it lands on is meaningful. Like,
yeah. And I was always curious.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You got to know what it is that you're throwing across the room to really make it, stick.
Well, and also curious of why do we have to make each other wrong and get angry at each other and hold resentment and all of these things instead of going, well, that makes sense. That you responded, that my mom responded with, I can't take care of you. Great. Awesome. Like, thank you. I mean, we adapt. And I didn't understand why people don't have compassion for that. Instead, it's like, you're an addict. You're a this. You're a that. And let's make you wrong and punish you for it.
Or here's the thing that you specifically have to work on. Like, here's your diagnosis. I mean, you went through wanting one, right?
Well, I tried, because it was like, give me a medication or something that was going to make me better. But
I think the market responds, right? I think a lot of people
because it all
probably
comes down to fucking money,
right? And a lot of people want a diagnosis because they know what's wrong, right? But there's so much. But you know what I mean? Like,
well, this is where I get all fired up.
Good,
because I'm like, fuck that.
Right.
Because then where's the personal fucking responsibility? Like, I had to go. I am choosing to do this to myself. It's no one's job to save me. I mean, I literally like kicked my dad in the face. I was like, stop trying to save me. The only way that I can fucking do this is if I go inward and go fucking deep inside me and like feel this for myself. Like, it's a really important process. You can give me medicine, but then am I actually going to get to the root thing? Am I actually going to feel the truth of like how much pain I've been in my whole life and own it and not ask people to save me or go try to like numb it out? I never understood why we were outsourcing that.
but it's good to have a guide.
Absolutely. And I have great guides. I mean, I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to my coaches and all of the things.
Right.
And that's why I created REgroovin.
Yeah.
Because I can hold space, because there's just nothing in me that is going to judge someone else. But it still befuddles me why people don't want to take personal responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about what a guide does, a guide doesn't drag you up the mountain. You know, a guide's job is to be like, oh, I mean, that's a cliff.
Or like, let me show you where.
Yeah. Over here is this. These plants are poisonous. Those aren't. You know, this is where, you know, that's the guide's job. But you're still personally responsible for getting yourself from the bottom to the top or wherever you're trying to go. So I appreciate that about the guide.
Yeah.
And so you feel called to be a guide, or do you feel
I feel exhausted by the amount of people that don't want to take personal responsibility. Case in point, like what we're dealing with in the world right now in our country.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
and then they just want to follow this thing because it's easier. I don't know. I yeah, I will always be intrigued why.
Well, it's fun. We could go off on a whole big tangent. We're at
we
40
we
minutes.
could
Yeah.
we could totally go off on a whole
We got
tangent here.
5 minutes to bring you home
Oh,
because, like,
okay.
well, you and I, we could sit and talk for hours and hours, and I'd like that, but I want to get because you touched briefly on why you started REgroovin, why you're doing the thing that you're doing, and I like where it's coming from. You know, that it's like, hey, there's this little pecan picker in my mind that wants to sell you lemonade, but more hear your story and figure things out. So
Yeah.
talk to me about that, like REgroovin, what you're doing with people, what we saw with Gretchen. What is this and why is this?
It is, yeah, it's what my students say most often is I am permission.
Your permission.
Because I'm expressed in the way that I am. I tell the truth. I'm messy and disorganized and all the things that I am. And I'm really, really good at leading people to that place and then just letting it open.
What's that place?
That place that they're scared to touch. The gift of my trauma is that it made me so intuitive. Like I can walk. When I worked in real estate, they would literally ask me to go read the room because I can just see it in people. And so, but I don't tell them because like I don't want to put that on them. However, I just hold all this space for them to open there. And so what is REgroovin? It's changing the neural pathways. It's changing the conversation. It's changing the way that the nervous system has reacted and responded to the world, the fear response, the protective coping mechanisms that we all have. And then after we realize what those are, then we start training the mind to do it different.
Like pattern recognition.
Pattern recognition, and also compassion, empathy. Like, dang, we've been through some shit.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how can we have compassion instead of making it wrong? Like, I need to be a better mom. I need to be a better this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still very confusing to me why everyone doesn't want to realize that in this lifetime. However, when I created it and people responded the way that they did, and I was like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah. What, I know this is going to sound like really salesy, but
That sounds salesy.
but
I was a salesperson for
I
a
know,
very
but,
long
like,
time. I still am.
it's less salesy than it sounds, but like what makes an ideal client for you? Like who is it that needs what you're doing?
The creatives, the people that have felt misunderstood their whole lives, the people that create art out of feeling misunderstood, the people that like allow that thing that comes through us, that makes music, that makes something out of nothing. REgroovin was nothing. Like I just invented it out of nothing. The people, yeah, that want to serve others, share their story, and especially the creatives. Because I feel like there's the reason that people become creative and have that open up inside of themselves is because they didn't understand who I call the muggles all the time either, you know? So like, you know, I'm going to create weird art and it might not be appreciated in my lifetime. However, it makes me feel expressed.
Yeah.
It makes me feel seen. And it also like gives all this energy that's trapped in our body, like someplace to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah. Well, we've done some energetic exchange here, and I really appreciate you being so open about, you know, the stuff that's happened in your life and the way you've tried to make that in service of other people. I think it's right. I mean, not that I don't want to make it right or wrong, but it feels good to know that there are people who care enough about others to take their pain and make it useful, and coming from a loving, compassionate place it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything like a sign off? Let's do this. We're gonna close the loop here.
Okay, let's close the loop.
The little girl that we started with back there in Texas,
Yeah.
whose name means warrior.
Yeah. And
Oh,
my grandmother called me Muchacha Fea, which is hilarious. My two nicknames
little
were
ugly,
my
little
my,
ugly
my
girl.
two nicknames were Muchacha Fea and Fats.
That's so mean. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like a mean, like weirdly adorably mean.
Yeah, I mean it all
Like,
came from love.
okay, so what would you say to little muchacha Fea?
Mm. We knew, yeah, like we knew what we were gonna do all along. Like and let's play more.
All right.
Yeah. Um, oh, it's not your fault. Yeah. Like you get to have this childhood now because I take care of you. Ouch. I feel it like right there.
Well, yeah, that's a sweet place to put it. You know,
Yeah.
go play more.
Go play
What
more.
a playground you have given that little 8-year-old. So good on you.
Look at where I live.
I know, right? Well done. Up top. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.